So now I give the floor to the representative of Global Water Partnerships.
Thank you, Chair, Your Excellencies, partners, distinguished delegates. The recent cyclones, Idai and Kenneth, the destruction on lives and economies that they unleashed in Eastern Africa are on our minds. The effects will last decades. The victims of this destruction are people, their prosperity and the planet. The people, by and large, are the poor and the most vulnerable. Piecemeal and reactive responses are inadequate, and much rather proactive, urgent and lasting change is required. While it's true that cyclones in some parts of the world are regularly and expected, we do recognize a global pattern of increasing extremes when it comes to storms, floods, droughts and fires. Water is the medium through which the impacts of climate change translate to devastating destruction, and the risk of such water-related disasters are growing. However, the negative economic impacts need not grow at the same pace. Water-related disasters account for 90% of all major natural disasters since 1990. Where water is part of the equation, investing in integrated water resources management can avoid some of the worst economic consequences. Many countries recognize this, and they do invest in water-related measures to adapt to climatic change. The Global Water Partnership's analysis of countries' nationally determined contributions to over 80 countries shows that 9 out of 10 countries prioritize investing in water infrastructure and institutions. But there's a mismatch between the appetite for water infrastructure and the action needed to input governance in place that would manage our water well. Also, more work needs to be done in designing actual projects. Without good governance and management structures, infrastructure assets risk at being stranded and vulnerable communities will be marginalized. Our environment left without the water it needs to sustain our livelihoods. Our analysis is clear. Investments in green and grey infrastructure as well as institutions are inseparable and urgent for building resilience. To make this connection, the climate, the development and the disaster risk reduction communities must come together with the water community. Water connects us all. The water community has many solutions to offer, and many water organizations already work with disaster risk reduction. We see this here in Geneva. As an intergovernmental organization and a globally operating action network, we, the Global Water Partnership, have taken our disaster risk reduction agenda forward. We bring together over 3,000 partner organizations from around the world. We operate through more than 65 country water partnerships, and we support through 13 regional teams and a global team action globally. Our affiliates are civil society organizations who convene stakeholders across organization sectors and often across boundaries, so that all can contribute to finding solutions and have a say in the decisions that affect everyone's water resources. Our work is rooted in existing political processes and connected through long-standing relationships with mandated organizations. For more than 20 years, we and many others have supported countries as they write the laws and build the institutions needed for managing water for sustainable development and in helping improve water management. We have also been able to help mobilize financing, including more recently climate financing for water-related investments that will strengthen resilience and reduce risks. Together with the World Meteorological Organization, we bring together global expertise to support countries in managing the extremes of water, floods and droughts, through help desks supported by over 60 institutional partners. These 2 help desks on flood and drought management are delivering results. For example, the Adaptation Fund recently approved a $7.9 million project on integrated flood and drought risk management in the Volta River Basin in West Africa, which developed on the request of 6 riparian countries to the Integrated Flood Management Help Desk. We responded to these requests by convening an in-depth stakeholder consultation led by the Global Water Partnership's regional and country water partnerships with capacity building associated by WMO, GWP and our help desk partners. Now, disaster may not differentiate where it hits, but when it hits, the poor and the vulnerable are hit most. To protect the vulnerable, we need an all-of-society engagement with political leadership, solid science informing policy, and an emphasis on the gender dimension and financing coming together. The excellent Global Assessment Report has pointed that out very well. Multi-stakeholder platforms have a critical role to play here, ensuring that inequality does not get exacerbated and that political will can be turned into effective and inclusive action. Thank you very much.